Welcome to a day in life. You're Aboriginal, LostPhoenixWolf. Welcome to my channel. Today's still August 21st. Doing a fourth video for my viewers, and I know it's going to be late to get all these videos up, but what can you do? I had some fun in my life, and besides, trying to ignore my pain. So yeah, I mean, like I said in the last video, lots of abuse from my dad, or some abuse from the stepmother, or abuse from the older brothers. They're not really my brothers. They're my sister's brothers. They're half brothers, and they're like my half step brothers. My dad didn't remarry. I kind of learned this lesson the first time marrying my mother, and my mother, leaving me in the hospital bed and come back around to be around a little bit, and then leave me and went to my uncle, and then pissed my dad off and stuff like that. And now, I learned my lesson. I've never get married again, and I learned my lesson. Even relationships. I'm really wise in relationships, and I'm not trusting any woman anymore, and not really giving any kind of chances. And I don't know really more to say that. I'm better off alone than in a relationship. A lot less stress and depression and stuff like that. And I don't know, I think my first, kind of girlfriend at that time, I think it was 9. Trying to, curious about what girls were and stuff like that, and knew that they had different parts of me. Kind of girlfriend, but she ended up moving away. She was a French girl. Had to move out of that apartment because of problems with my family of drinking and partying. So we used to hang out in the park, used to talk, and held hands a little bit, and a little peck and on the lips a little bit. And she didn't really want to tell me that she's me moving away. She couldn't really tell me. She goes, I'm gonna be really sad because I don't really want to tell you and stuff like that. And then I know by the next day she's moved away. Next girlfriend, actual legit girlfriend. I think I was 11 years old, and she was 10, I think, at the time. And me being into wrestling, have wrestling figures, and bots. You guys know what bots I'm talking about. At that time, wrestling figures and stuff like that. Those days, and sometimes I would have to give up some of my toys for a kiss, or a hug, or holding hands. And she accepted you taking it. I mean, she was giving it to her brother. She had a brother that had some medical problems, or I think he was like mentally challenged, I would say, and he had to stay in the basement. I don't know if he was older or younger than her. I think it most likely older, but she was giving him the toys, and I had a lot of different toys. Had yard sales, and went to yard sales and bought things secondhand and bought things brand new, and I had a vast amount of toys anyway, and then different little dinky cars. And then by between 10 and 11, that's when I got really into marbles and pogs. And there's a girl in the neighborhood area. We played pogs and stuff, and she was starting to figure out a way to cheat, and I didn't know until I lost half of lunch pail full of marbles. And this wasn't your normal metal lunch pail. This is one of the bigger new ones. And I caught on to it, and I tried to win my marbles back, but then she ended up leaving with the marbles, and then not want to play with marbles anymore, and kind of laughing about it. And that time, giving her a kiss and holding hands and hanging on stuff like that. And whatever, going for walks and stuff like that, and talking about that stuff, like she's talking about butterflies and flowers and all girly stuff. And then there was a neighbor that would live around the corner. She was, even today, she still wears the hair thing. She wears the hair thing that puts her hair back, some headband looking thing. And today she still does that. And I haven't seen her for a long time. But the one girl I was kissing on, and we were up in a tree, and then I was kind of joking around with the one girl, and I was seeing what the girlfriend, I think if she was a girlfriend, I'm not exactly sure. I was going to kiss her friend, and then she ended up shoving me a little bit, and I ended up falling into a tree, hitting a couple branches on the way down. And that's the actual knee. My left knee is the actual knee that got a good, gash in it. And I still have that. I still have that scar. Now I got an even bigger scar underneath that kneecap. So both of them ended up moving away, and then that's when I was talking with this blonde girl, and she was Christian. I didn't give them some toys, kisses, and stuff like that. And, there's just didn't really know what a girlfriend was, and had feelings for her. I know I was a boy and had feelings for her, and I think I was with her until I was like 16, 18. But I ended up moving away, and ended up moving far away to the reserve and stuff, and told her to wait for me. I'll be back to visit, and I was visit every month. And then by 2 or 3 years, she ended up being with somebody else, and it kind of. I don't know what a broken heart was then, but I know what it is today. But I felt really upset and sad, and she was a really good girl at that time. But I don't know. I mean, I didn't really date after that, and I don't know. I think 14, 15, 16, or whatever that last time with her. I was living on reserve anyway, and a little bit of the city and the reserve, and aunts, uncles, and cousins, of that. And my dad would kind of be separated from the stepmother, and kind of going back and forth. School on reserve, school off to reserve, and there's like just stuff like that, I think around 15 or 16, I had another girlfriend. Let's see, I'm trying to remember some of them now. Let's see, ones after that. Oh yes, I think it was 15 or 16 at that time. There was a girl that I liked. She was native, and she looked like she looked full Indian. We hung out, we kissed, and talked about certain things, and doing the boyfriend girlfriend thing, touching each other and talking about future stuff and latest movie or game or whatever. At that time, I can't remember all the details. There's a lot of stuff that happened in my life before heart attacks and mini strokes. But then I started getting to know her family, and then her grandma was talking to me. He was talking to me. She was talking to me. She goes, "What are you doing with my granddaughter?" And I said, "I don't live with her, and I'm sorry, we didn't talk to her family and stuff. We waited a little bit, and we were like each other, and we had plans in our life, and we're fun to be together and stuff." She goes, wait. She goes, "You've been with her for how long?" And then I said, "How long?" And then she goes, "Really?" She goes, don't you have an aunt so and so, and uncle so and so, and your dad so and so, and cousin so and so? And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, your aunt so and so married one of my family members and had kids with him, and is related to this family, and that the girlfriend that you're with is really one of your cousins, close, not really close cousin, but cousin." And I said, "Oh, really?" And then I had to talk it over with the cousin. She wasn't really close cousin. It's like second, third, or whatever kind of cousin. She wasn't really that close anyway. But when we both heard about one of her family members is married to the other family members, and she we ended up splitting up and moving on with life, and then seeing each other like later in life and stuff like that. And I didn't really date until maybe I was 17, I think 17, 18. That's high school days, and I don't know, I had 3 different girlfriends. One had to move away because her parents didn't like that she was with a native guy, and another one moved away because the parents didn't like because I was half white. And the other one, I ended up, I don't know, it didn't really work out, and because we got to know each other, we got into feelings, and, we ended up, almost doing the first time, but the damn tin can wasn't opening up. Do you know what's in the tin can, guys? Yeah, I don't have to spell it to you, but her sister was there, and she was older, babysitting a bunch of, her. I don't know. I think it was a sister or cousin. I think it was a cousin's mother. An uncle came by. He was downstairs making a lot of noise and stuff like that, and just they're trying to shove him out the door, So they're kissing, hugging, and fooling around, and nothing was going on because the uncle downstairs. And then I had enough, and I called my uncle, and then it was gonna ride. And then the other uncle's like, "Who's that?" And like, "I'm making he's here." It's like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna punch his lights out and stuff, and stuff like that. And just slowly walking the door, and they're holding him back. And then I didn't really see that girlfriend ever since that time. It just kind of went on in my life, and she started drinking and doing drugs, and doing stuff in her life, and doing stuff in my life, and just finishing school and doing odd jobs and make a little bit of money here and there. And I think that about 17, 18, that's when I had my grandfather's, and I don't know, that's really about my life and stuff like that. And the high school days was just nothing but a blur. I already probably said much of this stuff before, getting in fights there, and not really fit in anywhere, or not really was a sociable person as per se. Did have my certain amount of certain kind of friends and hanging out and doing stuff, and I still playing basketball and football, or floor hockey, or lacrosse, or whatever it is, just around lunchtime, and hanging out with friends and stuff like that, but not really into actual I'd say team, because they're either the native or they're white, and yeah, I already said this before, racist crap in school. Trying to be run for school president, that didn't really go well at all. Not really any votes for anything. Being the student body thing, that really didn't go anywhere too. And art class, doing my best artwork, and not really many votes on that. Float ideas and putting my work into it, and not really getting much credit for that, and people saying that they did more work than I did, and I don't know. It's just a lot of bullcrap. And then got to the point where I just gave up on a lot of things, and my high school days were just nothing but a blur. Just went out to do just my schoolwork and doing my own kind of thing, and let life just pass me by. And then started hanging out with other cousins, and roughhousing, and running around playing football and on four-wheeler and dirt bike, and doing silly things. And I don't know, there's not really much more I want to say here. You guys like this video, please do hit the like button. Please subscribe to me. Make sure this video on the channel might benefit you, might benefit me. Please do tell your friends and family about me. Thank you for viewing this video, and every time you guys watch it. Hope you all have a nice day, morning, night. Remember, it's better to be Aboriginal than original.